10:03. Dave Gloven and Randy Rhodes with you, Boogie with the Bull. Monday morning caffeine in the spirit of Scott Adams, who created the morning caffeine broadcast. As far as I'm concerned, our ceremonial. Let's get this morning started. A lot of things to go over, or a lot of heavy things to go over in a little bit of time. I brought to the table this morning Hurricane Milton. I'm telling everybody, if you live stream TV like the rest of us, watch your local weather, because your local weather is going to talk about it, because it's going to land here in Florida in the Tampa Bay area, but it's probably coming to a state near you. Unfortunately, this is the worst time, I think, in a hurricane season to be dealing with one, because FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, misused or allowed to be misused $1 billion of their budget. $1 billion might not be enough to get all the states back online, but I would imagine that helping with the states, the money that the states have set aside in their rainy day funds, it would have been a serious opening of the wallet to at least get us fixed and back running in a timely fashion. What should happen with FEMA? I think it's time that Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas goes before Congress, both sides, the House and the Senate, comes clean on everything within the Department of Homeland Security. Hopes he doesn't get impeached, but he should. It's too close to the election right now to bring in a new secretary, so I don't know what happens then, and at least bring a new secretary in and get them up to speed. So I don't know what the answer is, but maybe this is a wake-up call to Congress that says once you give money to a department of the government, you need to watch what they're doing with it, and you need to watch the administration themselves to make sure they're not just going where they want and taking money and using it however they want. Because this obviously hurts America. Got a lot of Americans who are going to be, living literally out on the streets probably while they try to figure this out. Hurricane insurance this year, I understand, went up substantially, that a lot of people just can't afford it, even if they wanted it, and they're told they don't really need it. If they wanted it, they can't afford it. So you got to think about things like that. BlackRock is on the agenda today only because, I try to tell you, I'm going to steal Ray's phrase for the moment. I try to tell you the actual and factual, even if it hurts what people want to hear. So all of you, as far as I'm concerned, that are watching this morning, cry that BlackRock went bankrupt, happy that BlackRock went bankrupt because you think BlackRock will go out of business. Then just look at how much of everything BlackRock owns. And if BlackRock actually did shut down and go bankrupt, there's nobody there to pick up those pieces of everything that BlackRock owns, or even everything BlackRock outright owns. So our economy would tank, literally tank. Forget about everything. Our World Trade Center stock market would just crash. That's it. They did what looks like a reorganization where you change the name of the company, make everybody think you formed a new company, trade all the stock in the new company for the stock in the old company, and pretty much your investors still hold their investment. That's what they did. They formed New BlackRock. New BlackRock now has BlackRock as a wholly owned subsidiary of BlackRock, which means that BlackRock, who maybe should crash and burn, is at least going to continue for another day. You know, and it doesn't take our economy down with it before the presidential election. I do have to say that if it did take our economy down before the presidential election and we were going to still have the November 5th presidential election, I do not believe that Kamala Harris, as vice president, would win the election only because she didn't do anything to stop BlackRock tanking. And BlackRock would be a serious thing that would tank and could hurt the economy. The other thing is, yes, if this factory, wherever they are, stop making IV meds, and maybe it's the largest supplier to U.S. hospitals, it's in a situation they can't make them anymore because of damage from Helene, and no one else can pick up the slack. That, to me, is more important than worrying about whether or not BlackRock is still going to own everything in your house and you and your ancestry DNA sample and your ancestry chart. Because if that happens, Randy said yesterday on one of his broadcasts last night that he uses Ancestry. Why? Because he's certified in Ancestry. He actually took the class, got certified, and uses it because as a genealogist, he needs access to probably the most accurate information he can find on you. If BlackRock were to tank and go under, who knows what would happen with Ancestry and all of the information that they have and the DNA samples that they have. And we'd be in a mess, Dr. Rhodes, wouldn't we?
We would be. I'm just trying to go through here, trying to find some uh, documentation of what the hell is going on down in the southern states. And to be honest with you, folks, unless you're down there, boots on the ground, seeing it firsthand, we're not going to get accurate information through our normal uh, uh, sources of trying to find news. Maybe Newsmax, but I don't have a subscription to Newsmax, so they went from being a free subscription to you gotta pay $5 a month.
Okay,
so I don't have that anymore.
Let me just interrupt for a second. Michael said that BlackRock will not tank. It will rebrand itself as it has too much money. That's true. That appears to be what I found they did, Michael. They rebranded themselves as New BlackRock, and New BlackRock has BlackRock listed as a wholly owned subsidiary. So, a corporate rebrand that saves them. They are in serious financial trouble, but BlackRock managed to do a reorganization. Is it right? I don't necessarily know. Should they own as much as they own? I don't necessarily know. Michael, if you want, Randy can send you a link, because every time I try to send you the link, it appears that you don't get it. And you're more than welcome to come on with us. We're going to end at 11 o'clock this morning because I have to end at 11 this morning. But if you want to join us, let Randy know, and he can send you a link, and I'll bring you on with us. Otherwise, if anyone is in Florida, in the Tampa Bay area, and you're in a safe location, because it's not supposed to hit us until sometime Thursday morning, possibly Wednesday afternoon, most likely Thursday morning. So it may be safe for you to come on and be with us. Michael adds, it's filled with sister corporations and has many outlets. They manage the world's money of investments. Yes, they do. And the stock market just skyrocketed. So if the stock market skyrocketed on news that BlackRock reorganized itself rather than bankruptcy, our economy should be going through the ceiling.
Wow.
That's very good. That's just great news. I mean, everybody wants to talk negatively about BlackRock. I want to too when I can, but a reorganization that saves a multi-trillion-dollar multinational corporation and protects, in theory, everybody's investment, because if you owned a share of BlackRock, you now own a share of New BlackRock. I think they should have done more. They should have done like a split where you got a share, a split where you get two shares in the one company when it splits. You should have got two shares of New BlackRock to as a means of saying, hey, we're solid. We think we're going to be able to keep this thing going. We know people disagree with how we operate, but and as far as if there are two CEOs of BlackRock that are still working for BlackRock, because BlackRock is all of the investors. The investors make the shareholders and the board of BlackRock, which are investors. They own BlackRock. So if they're still involved with BlackRock in any way as shareholders or officers of New BlackRock or BlackRock, which is now New BlackRock, they shouldn't be involved with BlackRock anymore. And they quite possibly shouldn't be allowed to hold any government position in anyone's administration because they bankrupted BlackRock. But I don't really know. Deborah Ann Myers is watching also on the Dave Globin profile, which is where we're live on Facebook. We'll get some live shares out in a moment. I'm going to turn it back over to Randy. And again, one last time, don't focus, people, that it's just that Milton is going to land in Florida. Focus on where it's going to go from Florida. The last thing I heard was that it should hit Tampa Bay, that whole area, at a Hurricane 4. It should drop to a Hurricane 3 or Hurricane 2, possibly by the time it gets to the eastern coast of Florida, a Hurricane 1, which is not as bad, and then move on. But who knows if it flies over the Atlantic Ocean and the Atlantic Ocean water is warm and it sucks up a whole bunch of warm water. Whoever created this thing, even if it's Mother Nature, is ready to pack a punch. And from what I hear, it just seems that an active hurricane season has been planned for Hurricane Alley. So go ahead, Randy. Michael, like I said, you're welcome to come on and provide your commentary if you wish, or in the live chat. I'll try to read it in as often as I can. It's up to you, but go ahead, Randy.
You sure?
Yes, I'm gonna try to get out the live chats.
Okay, this is my opportunity to talk. Okay. So a lot of things going on in today's news. One thing I want to say, folks, several things that Dave has mentioned about. I tried to get some information online to, I wouldn't say back up and reinforce. Not that I doubt what he's saying, but I always like to see, it's everything he said about like BlackRock. I didn't know anything about. I will say this though, that anytime that a company buys another one, for an example, here in Lancaster County, we have Kunzler's hot dogs. Been there since the day I was born. I want to tell you, as you drive towards the city of Lancaster, all you smell is hot dogs in the air, and it's like, oh my god, it makes you hungry for a hot dog, right? So a few months back, for whatever reason, I haven't had a chance to look into it. The owners of the company decided to sell the company. After 60 odd years of being in Lancaster County, they decided to sell the company. They gave no warning to the employees until yesterday, or maybe the day before, that guess what, folks? Come November the 7th, you're out of it. December the 7th, you're out of a job. 200 people going without a job. you know, and sometimes when a company is bought up by a larger company, two things can come out of it. A,
Sorry, I
the
misunderstood.
company that got bought is going to be able to give more to its employees, higher wages, better benefits, and everything is good. Or the company that is being bought up will be divvied up by the new company. The new company is going to keep what it wants and get rid of what it doesn't want. And in most cases, what it doesn't want are the extra employees. They'll probably take their equipment. They'll take obviously their customer base and so forth, and they will continue to produce hot dogs, perhaps under their name or still under the Kunzler name because it's so well known. But with BlackRock buying Ancestry, so far, so far, um, I am very pleased with the outcome. I pay $80 a month for access to the entire world. Okay. Uh, I also have access to newspapers.com, which has every piece of paper that's been documented. They have it in their archives. Um, Also, I have Find the Grave, which I didn't know Ancestry now BlackRock owns, and Find the Grave is a site where all the dead people go. So if you want to know about your dead people, Find a Grave is a good, phenomenal tool. It's 99.9% accurate. Um, the other thing that they have is the ability to obviously you get all these photographs, and prior to BlackRock, they had the ability to enhance the picture and colorize the black and white ones, but their service depending on the photo, when you enhanced it, it just distorted the faces. It was nasty. But now with BlackRock, here are the new things that they've added. Okay. One thing they added, which I'm paying an extra $10 for, which I think it's phenomenal, is fact checking. Okay. Now, obviously, a fact checker is only as good as the person doing the fact checking. So far, I haven't found any issues. But at any point in time, I can click on a link and it will fact check all my work and it will tell me if I made any mistakes. They've also included 10 different reports that you can print out showing the lineage of your tree. But the biggest thing that is added, which and so far they haven't increased my cost, is they got a beta program going on now with the enhancements of the photographs. Now, when you enhance the photograph, it is absolutely gorgeous. There's no distortion, there's no discoloration. It is absolutely beautiful. But they also added something else. I've always talked to you guys about Google Lens. If you wanted to verify a photo or a picture or whatever, Google Lens within microseconds will tell you if it's real or not. They now have added that as a new service to Ancestry, that you can click on the picture and it will tell you within microseconds if it's real and where to go for more information about that picture. So far, I'm pleased with BlackRock. Now, there are people who are saying, okay, well, BlackRock is known for all its dark black behind the scenes kind of stuff, and you should be concerned about your DNA. Well, folks, if you have concern about your DNA, then you got a lot bigger problems to worry about than ancestry because if you're out, if someone wants your DNA, they could follow you. They can see you go into a restaurant, you can sit down, you eat, you leave your dishes behind. They'll take your dishes. If you're putting your trash out for the week, they'll go through your trash. There are many different ways of finding your DNA other than ancestry subscription. So I wouldn't worry about that so much. And if you are, call after so the DNA is kept on record because as they do improve the technology of DNA research, they will continue to update you as far as, hey, we found this new country that we didn't have before, and you got ancestors going back to the the caveman time or whatever. Um, or hey, we found a new fourth or fifth cousin or something like that. So if your only purpose for the DNA was to see the immediate several generations of your ancestors or to see what you're made out of, okay, German, Italian, Spanish, whatever, Native American. After you get that information, just call up ancestors, say, I want you to destroy my DNA. Now, obviously, we have to take their word for it because there's no way of proving they actually did it. From what I understand, DNA is destroyed simply by putting Clorox on it uh, to simplify things. So that's it for BlackRock, and BlackRock having money issues. They're not going anywhere. They're going to do what every other person does, and that's going to reorganize the debt. Okay, they're going to say, "Look, I can't pay you. I can't pay you. Screw you guys. You get no money." Or, "Hey, you guys, we'll settle out if you want to. Look, I can't pay you the full amount, but here's $100 million to shut you up and get you off my record." Oh, okay, you take okay, no, to take that. So there's ways of reorganizing their debt. So they're not going anywhere. They might downsize some of their higher wage earners, but more than likely what they'll do is get rid of the poor guy on the totem pole that gets paid by the hour, other than to get rid of the millionaires. So they're not going anywhere. Okay. Um, I did see where I tried getting information, but Bloomberg, where saw the initial titles of it, they want you to pay for a subscription to read the rest of the article, so that sucks. But Bloomberg said that BlackRock lost $1.7 trillion in 6 months, and BlackRock assets exceed $9 trillion. Now, was able to get out before they covered up the screen because they want me to buy this damn subscription. Is that the reason that they're given for lose the money is that because of the current client atmosphere of uh, 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 our country, as far as the debt and so forth, people are pulling the money out of bonds and putting it somewhere else. And apparently, BlackRock's bedrock for investments is in bonds. So within the last 6 months, people pulled $200 billion out of bonds, which I guess is one reason why they hurt BlackRock. Now, going to world information going on here. Um, uh, the word is that people are concerned that Putin could spark an invasion of three more countries. Okay, so they're saying that he's being pushed to invade three other countries. When I went into the content of the article, it doesn't say shit as to which three countries. So I hate when they do that. You get that headline where it kind of brings you into the article or into like something to read, and then you have to go through the entire damn thing to find out that there's nothing there about it. But apparently, it says Vladimir Putin could spark the invasion of three more European countries thanks to Russia's support of Serbia. Okay, I can see that. So Putin is supporting Serbia, and guess who Serbia's fighting right now? Israel. So that could do that. But his advisors are telling him to attack England. Now, what kind of surprised me was that uh, uh, United Kingdom is concerned because Putin is putting out the draft for 133,000 more soldiers to go into war in Ukraine because of the losses that he's incurred. Now, the reason why Ukraine is concerned about that number of new recruits is because they would have more soldiers in uniform than England does. So I did a quick search to see how many soldiers England has in uniform. And by in uniform, I mean by they can go straight into combat.
Okay.
148,000 soldiers is what England has right now.
Okay.
Now, obviously, if they need more, they can pull up the draft but then you have to go through the whole training process, get them ready for combat.
They're also not going to send all 148,000 out of
Right.
England at the same time. But Deborah Ann Myers made a comment. I'm not sure how we address this. She said, Hope Findgrave has all cremation information. The left behind cremation that people have not picked up is piling up. And if there is not a grave, then I would assume they don't have any information because
they do. They do.
Family member and
they
the
do.
member is
So this is the way. So if you have a loved one who is cremated, okay, they go somewhere, okay. They'll go into a crematorium, like those big buildings, always like a little drawer, that kind of thing.
Right.
Or some people actually buy a grave site and they'll put the jar into the ground.
Right.
Then you have the others who just don't dump the ashes into the ocean or on the mountainside somewhere, okay.
Or they just keep them.
Or they just keep them, correct. But in most cases, I'm going to say 99% of the cases, an obituary is done. Okay,
Right.
Someone dies, so we got to tell the world that Randall Rhodes has passed away. And the guy's going to say, like, okay, here the insurance pays for X number of lines, and anything extra you got to pay out of pocket. Okay, so let's keep this simple. Randall Rhodes passed away on December 1st, 2024. He died from lung cancer due to his mom smoking all around his 65 years of being born. Randall Rhodes is survived by his darling wife, Claudette Rhodes, Claudette Moore Rhodes, his son, Christopher Matthew Rhodes,
who only had one question. Okay. Why?
So you get this. So you get the idea. So
one question. Why?
Why?
Yeah, why you died? Did you call him before you died?
Did I what?
Did you call him before you died?
Did I call who?
Your son.
No. Why would I call my son before I died?
Okay, I don't know.
What I'm saying is the obituary is going to read about he died and who he survived by.
Right.
And people will list all the names. Okay. And if they go to a crematorium or something like that, or they go to tombstone, Findgrave will have that. But then keep in mind that prior to my death, my mom and my dad died. Okay, so people will update that information. So on Find the Grave, you'll see Ronald Eugene Rhodes and all his death things. You'll see spouse, and you'll see my mom's name, and then you'll see children, and then you see Randall Rhodes passed away. So that's how you'll get that information. The only way you won't see anything is if the family doesn't give a shit, okay, and they don't do any of that stuff to tell the world that you passed away.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'll best be a little blurb, like a little quarter-inch blurb in a newspaper somewhere, where they're selling dog food or something. You'll find that. If you died, there are ways of finding where your body is or what happened to your body. Back in the day when you were at war, okay, I'll find someone's ancestor and say, he died, blah blah blah, during the Battle of Trafalgar, and that he was lost to sea. Okay, so that means he went into the ocean, but at least you have a record of the guy dying.
Or miraculously, they found his dog tags and sent them to you or delivered them to you.
Yeah, they didn't have dog tags back then. They might have found his his saber or something. I don't know. I mean, it's like right now they found this damn World War II ship that's leaking toxic shit into the ocean, right? Yep. And the environmentalists are all concerned about this. But you know what? There's fish swimming all around this damn destroyer, and there's all these these underwater plant life growing like crazy. So obviously it's not too damn toxic, otherwise they'd be dead.
Or it's going to be something like The Simpsons, where you have fish with 3 eyes and lobsters with 7 legs. And
Hey, there is some of that scene, in Russia where those the nuclear power plants blew up.
yep,
Okay, there were initially some animals who had some distortions, but that's kind of has it's been 25 plus years, so now things are getting back to normal now.
I, I guess, Deborah, where you say that it's mandatory in Pennsylvania to have an obituary, and it is, and you don't know about other states, then that I would tell people, most people that I know, at least relatives of mine, when someone passed, wanted to put an obituary in to let everyone know that their loved one or these people's friends passed away, because typically on the Catholic side of the aisle, you hold a wake where everyone comes and sits and talks about it, and prays for the surviving family. The Jews, we call it sitting Shiva. It's basically the same thing. You go to the home of the family or a home of a relative, and you bring food to make sure that the surviving family, is able to eat and all of that stuff.
Okay, so I'm looking at what you were saying about Pennsylvania. So Pennsylvania says it is mandatory to place in at least 2 newspapers. The reason this is a sick reason. The reason is uh, if you owe someone money,
Yeah,
you know, if you owed so and so money, at the point of your death, you're supposed to resolve those debts. Now, I know back in the day that was a huge thing, because when people did their wills, um, the first thing they got away was people who they owed money to, because they didn't want to go to heaven or hell knowing that they owed money. So one of the very first things is in the wills of your ancestors, you will see where such and such goes to him, such and such goes to him. He gets my ox, he gets my Negro slave Joe, he gets my Negro slave Dave, he gets my Negro slave Lucia, whatever. $10 goes to this, $5 goes to this, and so forth. Once he gets all the people he owes money away with, whatever's left over goes to his wife if he's married,
or
and
gets
then goes
fought
to the
over.
and
Yeah,
then to
gets
the
fought over
eldest son and so
probate.
forth. Okay,
Yeah,
so the obituary is one way of notifying that you passed away. So if you have a family who lives in all the states, you'll know that. Oh my God, my cousin Randy passed away. Oh my God, I'll send flowers or something like that. And
I think the funeral
obviously,
home takes care of that, or
correct. The funeral home, the funeral
they'll
that
ask
is
you usually what papers, you know,
yes, yes,
what
yes,
papers you want it listed in. Like my mother chose the Boston Globe for my father, and I forget what the other one was. But
yeah, yeah. So yes, I mean, it's not. I know. Well, is there? Do you have a concern about the obituaries, Deborah?
no, I think she had a concern. The comment above was that funeral homes can't dispose of the left behinds, meaning that funeral. I don't know if that means that she's saying that funeral homes are keeping the ashes until they're claimed or not. That I don't know what happens. Okay, she's freezing and will become that. That I don't know what happens. If the ashes are never claimed, I'm sure there must be something
Right. Well, so
in
what?
the
So what
agreement
happens
that
is this.
says how long they have to hold them.
So what happens is this: if you have a body or ashes, okay, that the person dies, and this is normally in the case of low of people with low income, they don't claim the body, don't claim the ashes. There's a certain amount of time that the funeral home has to wait before they dispose of the body or the ashes. And normally that goes to every cemetery has the poor person's spot where the people without any money get buried, and they're
Right.
usually in a wooden coffin, nothing fancy. They're thrown in with like a dozen other people, and you're buried with dirt. Same with the ashes. The ashes are just dumped in a place appropriate. Now, obviously, and don't forget too that these companies are have very strict laws to follow. So unless you get one of those idiots that you see about in the newspaper every now and then, where they have steal all the good stuff off the bodies, and you get the a dozen bodies, whatever, stinking in the back room because they didn't take time to bury them. And you do have that possibility, but that's why you want to deal with a legitimate uh, uh, um, a mortuary and so forth. But I've never had any problem. Well, I shouldn't say that. In my doing research for folks, the only um, 0.5% of my clients, I have not had the ability to track down an obituary or a location where the body is, because there are some people who don't give a shit and they won't notify anybody. And so you have that. And that's on the family, and that's what's pretty sad.
Yep. I just was going to try to slip into the live chat on Facebook. If you have problems watching us live on Facebook, poor signal quality or something, go over to the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel and try watching over there. I'm going to apologize that the 17 live shares that I sent this morning, it looks like, again, Facebook is playing games and they're not uploading properly. So you have to watch it here. And if you're having trouble watching it on my profile, then, like I said, go over to the YouTube channel and try to watch it, or wait for the podcast and watch it on the podcast. But also bear in mind that Milton is on its way into the United States, coming into Florida. So who knows how bad the internet above us, between the 745 miles south of Tampa that Milton is in right now, and where we are in our same place here in Florida.
Of all the things for the, I'll be so glad when the November 4th is behind us. Elon Musk is being criticized for being happy at Trump's rally he was just at in Butler. He's being Elon Musk is being criticized for being happy at Trump's Butler rally. He was seen jumping up and down and shouting for joy. Now they're calling him unhinged. Elon Musk unhinged appearance at Trump rally gets mocked in the memes. He's happy. Good Lord.
You know what? He spent $44 billion so he could own X, so that he could be on the internet from a safe place where no one could take him down and do whatever he wants on it, as long as it's legal within the rules of what you can and can't do on the internet. So when people get mad about what they see him do, to me, don't watch it. Don't go to Twitter. Don't look at tweets from him on Facebook.
Hey, Deborah, if you want, I'm kind of curious about your interest in the cremation and so forth. If you want to talk after the fact, direct message me. I'm kind of curious as to where you're trying to go with the cremation thing.
Right.
I've never had that problem with, and I've had close to 100 clients so far. I never had any problems finding, other than that one small percent where, there was no information because the families didn't care. The biggest thing is, like, really back in the day when you had your ocean warfare, wooden ships kind of scenario, where a person died at battle, they'll put down, buried at sea or lost at sea. They even had one of the Mayflower people. The damn ship was docked, right? And I don't know how the kid fell overboard, but the kid fell overboard. So they even have that so and so died, falling overboard at while docked, in the harbor. But yeah, so I've never had any problem with finding it. I find it very accurate.
Yeah.
And the information it provides, it goes back multiple generations. Like I said, with my one client, I was able to use Find Grave to go back to year 0089. 0089. That's how far back it went with information. And that's people taking the time to put the information in there. They're actually people I don't know if they're paid by Find Grave or Ancestry, but they'll go around to all the cemeteries. And they'll take pictures of the tombstones. If they can, they'll clean it up so you can see the writing on it. They'll try and find information about the person. If there's family members also in the cemetery, they'll make sure to link those people to them. It's very good service.
I wonder if it's a service that Ichabod Palmer provides.
Well, I mean, Ichabod Palmer, he does go out. He's hired by cemeteries and so forth to go out there and clean up tombstones, make repairs, bring back the life if he can without damaging the tombstone itself. Because based on what what it's made out of, depending on the chemicals he's used, you could actually do more damage than actually make it look better. But I haven't heard Ichabod. I know he is on his way to the federal prison where his son is being held.
Right.
So he's going to be incognito for a while.
Right. He doesn't get to see him as often as he would like to. And I guess I have to word it. Rumors say that his son is not being treated the way he should be. And the only reason I say rumor is because I don't actually know for a fact. I haven't seen. I believe Ichabod 100%. If that's the story that Ichabod is sharing with us, because Ichabod is a man of his word, and if he says it, it's generally true. So,
yeah,
it's very sad that our government is still doing that, and I think one of the first things Trump needs to do is look at anything January 6th related that someone is in prison for
and release them.
Immediately pardon them,
yep.
Which means they pack their bags and they walk out the gate and they get in a car or somewhere.
And make them available to sue the federal government for the treatment and loss of income.
Yes. But this is easily something that could bankrupt the federal government with everybody being allowed to sue for the maximum thing. But
they'll just keep printing money. I mean, if anything's going to bankrupt our government, it's going to be all the shit they're giving to the illegals.
Well, that $1 billion, that $1 billion should be what basically Congress decides. Okay, we need a federal emergency management agency. Unfortunately, rather than giving them per se a budget that they can do whatever they want with for the year, or a sitting president can order someone in his administration to go write a check and take as much money as the administration wants for something else. No, it needs to be the Federal Emergency Management Agency, say, gets, I don't know, a number, $500 trillion on January 5th every year. Anytime they need to spend money, they submit, a purchase order or whatever to to congressional committees that have oversight on that agency, and they discuss it. And if it's within whatever realm of that agency, then that's how it goes. It's going to slow down people getting paid, but it's going to slow down your government seeing, oh, there's $1 billion here in FEMA, and we've got all these illegals we have to take care of. We're just going to pull that $1 billion out. And it really doesn't matter that we did it right now, because in less than 30 days, either it's going to be Kamala Harris, who's going to continue doing hopefully what we did, or it's going to be Donald Trump, who's going to come after us and explain to us what you did is wrong, and we're going to have to figure out some way to recover it from your administration. I mean, this is ridiculous. That $1 billion, a good portion of that $1 billion could have gone to help people in Hurricane Alley get affordable hurricane insurance. So hopefully, if something happens to their properties, forget about new BlackRock wanting to buy everything now for the mineral rights. If something happens and you lose your home, you're going to at least be able to rebuild your home. I mean, this is just ridiculous. I mean, the way the Trump administration is going to look at America is much different than the way the Harris Biden or Biden Harris, whatever you want to call it, administration is looking at it now. So, and hopefully a different way that Congress is going to look at it than they are looking at it now. My favorite argument about things in our economy that are just priced wrong is gasoline. It's a product that everybody needs. It should not be a political argument, right?
But that's why it is, because everybody needs it.
Right.
If nobody needed the government wouldn't care.
Right, but well, everyone needs it, so it should be an American citizen issue that we need it. And the point is, we all seem to agree that there is so much underground here in the United States that we could harvest enough each year to support our needs for it. And then maybe if we wanted to, even pull out more like we did under the Trump administration and become the largest exporter of oil on earth, if that's what we wanted to do, and our price was lower and everybody was happy. We wouldn't have had to deal with Joe Biden saying to Russia, sell us whatever we want, inflate the price like he did, and then turn around and now Biden doesn't want anything to do with it.
Well, right now I don't think Biden is that. Right now, I don't think Biden is in control of anything.
It's not.
I think Kamala. And in fact, I don't think Kamala is in control of anything. So if any country wanted to attack the United States, now would be a good time because there is no true leadership, and
Right.
I would hate to think. I would guess that if the shit hit the fan, it would go to the Speaker of the House to take control of the reins and bring some kind of semblance of a accomplishment. In the case of an attack of our country, because Biden's mind is gone. Kamala doesn't know her ass from a hole in the ground, so that's going to leave the Speaker of the House, and I think he would have the ability to get the military going and placed properly and respond to the attack.
You'd have to think, though, but the only problem with that is that now, 20-something days before an election, Congress, the House, and the Senate would have to agree to impeach Biden, then swear Harris in and impeach her.
Well, that's not going to happen.
Right. And so, I mean, it's not going to happen. I am a firm believer that regardless of who is president, except for Harris, in November, the Biden administration is going to be very, very, very investigated on just about all levels, and some things are going to change. I don't think a president is going to be allowed to weaponize the Department of Justice anymore.
It would be interesting if Trump gets in the White House, if someone creates a special board, or they call them, to address all the things that Biden did in his 4 years to undo everything and maybe press charges against him and his wife, and, of course, Kamala. It would be nice to see a special investigation into him.
Well, the House Judiciary Committee under Jim Jordan, that's what they should do. But the only question is, like everyone else is going to ask, is are they going to do that? Yeah. Or are they just going to, or are they just going to, as the House and the Senate, work with President Trump to move us to where we need to be? We're in a really bad place now. Rather than worrying about how we got here so much, can we just move forward? Let the Justice Department do what it needs to do. Or let the Justice Department go do what it needs to do while President Trump is away from that.
Well, the Justice Department has to be revamped.
Doing what we need to do.
You know,
An attorney general to let us know what's going on as we
yeah,
know what's going on.
yeah. Before the Justice Department does anything, it needs to be revamped from top down. They need to get those judges
Right.
replaced that went after Trump. Get new guys in play, and get people in that don't get kicked out after 4 years is over. That's bullshit. You know, I understand the reason why they want to do a quick fix, they want to do a temporary fix, get these people in, but then 4 years later, if you don't win the re-election, everything you did just went out the damn window.
But it would be the same thing anyway if you added 2 years and made it a 6 year term. If the other party wins at the end of 6 years, they're just going to do the same thing and change it back to the way they want it.
See, that's what I'm saying. That whatever you do it so it's permanent. So it's not so it's not people can be fired from their jobs. Place them in whatever.
Well, then you're talking about a president not being able to have quote unquote open, broad power to write an executive order on anything that remains in effect as long as the next president doesn't revoke it.
Or I like the idea of just go back to royalty. Just make Trump king, and that way until he dies, everything stays the way it is. Then his son, his eldest son, takes the throne, and everything that we like about the Trump, a way about doing things, stays in power.
But that's the biggest problem. There is no guarantee. Okay, there is no Donald Trump other than Donald John Trump. It doesn't matter what DJ Trump Jr. is and what he's about. He's not Donald Trump.
Well, I don't understand that, but I think Donald Trump Jr. Shares the same beliefs and strengths that his dad does. So when King Donald J. Trump passes away, and after we have all the royal burial and so forth, then Donald Trump Jr. gets coordinated into the with wearing the crown and so forth. Now he takes over where his dad left off.
And then immediately Donald Trump Jr. gets assassinated. So, Eric takes over, then Eric gets assassinated. And
jeez, good Lord.
And then,
I think these guys will have enough guards around them to with swords and spears to protect them.
I just don't think that there is a majority out there that is going to agree with a king. And they're all going to go back and they're going to say, hey, George Washington, who had the chance to become the king of America, to create the Washington dynasty, said no. And the reason that he said no is that's what we came here to do.
Well, yeah, okay. Well, because the king they had was an asshole. Okay, so and that's their problem for not replacing them with someone else who has the heart of the people. Trump has the heart and soul of the people. Yeah, he would make a great king.
I don't see king coming because I just don't see American citizens uniting and saying, we're going to give our country to this one person. And when he dies, he can do whatever he wants with it. And he can pass it to whoever he wants, or it can pass to whoever they want.
But I think if you package it correctly, I think you get the majority of the Americans behind them. Because look what we got now. Okay, so right now we have, we had Trump for 4 years. He did a phenomenal job of bringing back our country, making it stronger, making it wealthy. Everybody's happy. Everybody's got a job, got the chicken in the pot, got a car in the driveway. Everyone's happy until the left steals it. Okay? So, if we can convince the people, look at the shit that we've had to deal with for the past 4 years because they were able to steal it and we weren't able to do anything about it. Sell the product as, Donald J. Trump, make him the king. He's in power for life. Okay. He's going to do everything he promises. He'll have the length of time involved to get everything put in place, make us the strongest, wealthiest country has ever been. And then Donald J. Trump Jr. steps in and he takes over for dear old daddy. And he's going to keep doing what daddy did. because the people love it. Uh,
But what happens if he has a short life, and
but then it goes to the next son,
well, what if
and then
he has a short life? I mean, that's
well,
all.
okay, I understand. As long as there is a family member living, you'll have your lineage to the throne. That's
Well,
what
that,
that's why the King of England now had to wait till he's like ready to die because dear old mommy lived to be in her 90s. So when she finally kicked the bucket, that's when he takes over the throne. And now he's so damn old, he needs a walker to get around. So his grandson, whichever one it is, I forget the one he likes, is next in line to be king. And he's
William
just waiting.
William is next in line.
Yeah,
The older, the
he's
older.
just waiting. He's just waiting for dear old daddy to kick the bucket.
But
Right?
in the
Uh,
grand
but,
in the grand scheme of things, I don't think it's even that, because William understands, I think, that the king really doesn't have any authority.
well, yeah. I was waiting for that to come up
It's not, not
because
the crown anymore.
the
It's
idiots
the
gave
House
the
of
power
Parliament.
of the country over to the House of Commons. They have the same amount of power, if not more, of like our Congress does. The king right now is just a damn figurehead.
Right.
He's great for parties and for kissing the babies and
Why
slapping the women.
why Elizabeth
That's their
II
problem.
did that makes no sense to me at all.
The king should take back his damn power, make it the way it used to be, kick out the Muslims, make the country strong, and make it better than what make it. You, England used to consist of hundreds of countries because they were a powerful nation,
Yeah.
and they just kissed it away.
Well, I don't know if it's just kissed it away. I think in most of the agreements, when they took these countries over, there was a date when they said we will set you free from being part of the British Empire, meaning belonging to the king or the queen, and that was, I think, the right way to do it. I just, again, I don't think are going to get the bulk of. I mean, you got to put it on the ballot, for the people of England to decide. Do you want to go back to having a king who has absolute authority, or do you want to leave it with a prime minister who is sort of like the Speaker of the House and has absolute authority over the House House of Parliament within reason to run the country as it needs to be? And I don't. I mean, personally, I think the British Parliament should stop paying, in theory, the monarchy a salary just because you're now the king, she's now the queen, your sons are princes. One of them is in line to be the king. Your son and your daughter are now in line to be the king and the queen, and just keep getting a very sizable check for the rest of your lives, just because we're in the process of buying this from you. I just think it really has to stop. Just like presidents, I don't think they should get. I personally don't believe they should be getting. You get $400,000 a year to be president. You shouldn't be getting $400,000 a year for the rest of your life because you were president. Think of all that money we could save. Jimmy Carter is going to live forever. He just turned 100 years
Oh
old.
my God! Did you see that picture? I want to tell you what, that family should be slapped in the face and slapped in the face again.
Why?
Like the guys in that chair is.
Yeah. He's not
I mean,
well.
he needs to be in a nursing home
He
where
is.
someone's
I
giving
mean,
him some ice cream.
he's somewhere being taken care of, or he's living at home in Plains, Georgia, with a staff, I'm sure.
Oh my God, that's
It takes very good care of him. I mean, if any one of our presidents was going to live to be 100 or more, it would be Jimmy Carter.
is his brother.
No, Billy passed away years ago.
The Billy Bear. I remember Billy Bear.
Billy passed away years ago.
Oh.
But
drank too much of his Billy.
And Rosalind, I
Drank
think
too much of his Billy Beer.
Rosalind, I think, is near 100.
Oh my God. Yes. Well, my time is up. I gotta get going.
Right.
I this one end it with this. The more I see
Okay.
uh, uh, on my browsers, and I know it's because of how I do my searches, the more evidence there is of aliens coming to our planet, visiting us, being chased by our jet fighters, some being shot down supposedly. But there is so much going on right now uh, with the alien spaceships. And I actually did a Google on newspaper. If you guys ever want to know something about anything, newspapers.com is one of your best friends. Just type something in. Don't give a date. Don't give a state, and you'll be surprised what you'll find. So I did flying saucers over Washington D.C. and I must got like 50 different newspapers, all with the pictures of the flying saucers hovering over Washington D.C. Uh, talking about that there was and so proof positive. Okay, this is back in the day when you couldn't fake shit. Okay, it has pictures of the flying saucers hovering over the White House. There is a in the report when you read it, it talks about our jet fighters were chased them, but couldn't keep up because these ships were flying more than 300 miles an hour. They just couldn't keep up. So they're there, they're real. I'm just waiting for the day when they finally come in force and say we're taking back our planet, and you guys are going to be our food for the next 100 years.
All right.
Gobble gobble gobble. I mean, I gotta go. You guys have fun.
Today's Monday, so we're back Wednesday. Tomorrow's Tuesday. We're back at 7 p.m. Tomorrow night, you're more than welcome to be with us if you wish, and I hope you will. And let's see, the American Rebellion is tonight at 7 p.m. And everybody should watch it on the American Rebellion blogger page here on Facebook and over on the American Rebellion page on Wimkin. Anything else you want to say, Randy?
Well, I have no idea what Jen's topic is for tomorrow for a straight talk with Jen and Randy. So when I find that out, I will get out to you guys.
You should watch. People should watch it anyway, and they should share it anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have no idea. She hasn't reached out to me, so I got no idea what's going on for tomorrow. Be a surprise, right?
Yep. The only one that has an excuse for not watching it right now is me, because the Chromebook 3 Bluetooth is not working properly, so I can't get my headphones to listen if Donna's doing something in here, and I don't want to interrupt her with the volume of whatever I'm watching. I can't watch, but that will be taken care of on Thursday. Anyway, what else, Randy?
That's it. I mean,
plug for
I have 2 slots open on my calendar for people who want to do research on their families. I just did a broadcast yesterday about the Moniac ancestors on James Melvin's ancestors. His father was Native American. He was Major David Moniac. He died during the Second Seminole War. But as you trace back both the parental and maternal sides of the family, you go into the Native Americans, okay, and they were chiefs and so forth, Chief Red, something or other. But then you go in a little bit further back and you see where Europeans came to the New World. The guy was a single guy, and he hooks up with the Native American woman, and they get married, and that's where the blending of the family comes in. And that's why I say that so many of us, if we got a DNA test, you might be surprised that you might have a minuscule bit of Native American in you because of the way it happened. I mean, back in the day, the ships only handled like 200 or 300 people at a time. You know, during the 6 months it took to get here by ship, people died. Then you got here and people died some more. So it wasn't uncommon for the Europeans to hook up with the Native Americans. And and so forth. Um, Michael joined me during the conversation, so he brought some interesting points in, and uh, I kind of got swayed towards the aliens, but that's fine because you
Okay,
know
I'm getting the word.
because you know.
Getting the word. We got to wrap it up. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
okay, I gotta go. See you.
All right, Randy's got to go. I got to go. You've been watching Boogie with the Bull, Monday Morning Caffeine, a copyrighted presentation of the No Budget Broadcasting Company. The upload errors for shares is happening again in the Facebook news feed. The only thing I can tell you is we just have to let it run until it either decides it can't upload it and dumps it or finally dumps it. When it happened last Thursday night, it took several days before it finally happened. That's the best I can tell you. Go to my profile and share it from there and see if you have better luck than I do. The only information I have is that it is something that Facebook is doing, but no one at Facebook can seem to explain to me what it is they're doing. So, maybe we're getting too many people watching here. And if that happens, then maybe we'll have to go someplace else. But we're not going anyplace else until after the election and we see what is happening. So thanks, Bubba D, for catching the end of it. Go back and watch the podcast. Please share it. Deborah and Myers, contact Randy because he has questions for you about why you're trying to find information on where cremated ashes may be. He can probably help you. Jonathan Townsend Alexander, thank you. Michael Anthony, thank you. You're always invited to come and be a part of the broadcast. I sent you the link on Messenger. I mailed the link to you, and that's about all I can do. But you're welcome to join anytime. Anybody else is welcome to join. Please be very careful, okay? If you're in Florida, be prepared. It could be very bad. It's supposed to hit as a Category 4, work its way down to a Category 3, Category 2, Category 1 as it leaves Florida. Right now predicted sometime on Thursday. But it's supposed to leave on the east coast of the state right over the Atlantic Ocean. So if the ocean water is warm, there's a good chance it could suck up a whole bunch. And who knows what it could do. Double back and hit Florida again. Continue on. So pay attention to your weather channels wherever you are, because it's not just going to be here in Florida. And if it comes into Florida as a Category 4 and it moves out of Florida as a Category 4, it's going to bring a punch to wherever it is. Okay? So our thoughts and prayers go out to everybody between now and Thursday that are in Florida, as well as anybody else connected to Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, everywhere else it could go, Texas, anywhere else it could go, in Arizona. I could keep naming states where we have friends or family in, but everybody just be prepared for it. Don't do things stupid. Don't go to your local Walmart or wherever and buy every roll of toilet paper that you see there. Okay? Save things for other people and other things too. Don't buy all the one brand of cat food that all the cats in Florida eat. Okay? Save some for other people, because other people have cats that got to have that too during the craziness that's about to hit us. And remember, if you had shares of BlackRock, you now have shares of new BlackRock, and that will probably get to you as soon as they print them up and release them and get them out to you. Okay? And but pay attention to what BlackRock is doing. Like Michael said, there appears to be 2 BlackRock CEOs may land in the Kamala Harris administration if she's elected president. Again, as far as I'm concerned, that's the worst possible thing that could happen. 2 guys that might be responsible for bankrupting the largest corporation in the world, that turned around and used assets of the largest corporation in the world to reorganize themselves, make BlackRock, keep the debt in the family, and continue to do whatever it is they do. Maybe this is a wake-up call that they don't need to be doing some of the things that they do. Again, thoughts and prayers go out to Florida, primarily the Tampa Bay area. If you live in Florida, Governor DeSantis made it very clear that your local debris disposal centers, dumps, whatever you want to call them, are required by Florida law to be open right now, 24 hours a day, so people can get rid of any debris left over by Helene before any debris from Milton lands here. Kevin, our emergency management director, was very clear. They went in, they cut locks, they went in with people to operate these places so that you can do what you need to do to get rid of debris and store it safely before Milton gets here. So take advantage of that. I would say today, if you're in Florida, get your cars full of gas if you can, anywhere near you, top them off. Your electric cars, plug them in and make sure they're properly fully charged too. Governor DeSantis just did say something yesterday about opening up extra charging centers for electric vehicles. I didn't listen to the whole portion of that speech, but they're going to take care of you. Remember, in some, I don't remember how many Starlink mobile internet things that he said the state has, but they have them. They can deploy them to a number of counties in the area to make sure that while everyone has power, at least you have access to the internet. And Elon Musk is giving that away free. So as long as you have electric power, if you're near one of them, you may be able to remain on the internet. Keep in touch with your family as this thing goes through Florida or before. Keep in touch with them after, during, however you have to do it. Keep everything charged, and by the grace of God, I will be back tomorrow night, 7 p.m. with Tuesday Night Live. I'm not sure whether or not I will be on the American Rebellion tonight or how long I will be on the American Rebellion night. It's eye shot Monday, and sometimes I'm just not. Eyes a little sore. But anyway, I got to go. I got to get ready. We have to leave in about an hour. So live well and prosper.